I had been married for 5 years, but lately, my husband seemed more like a roommate than a partner. The spark was gone, replaced by the monotony of daily life. I never thought a simple business trip would lead to a tangled web of desire, yet here I was, staring at the invitation in my hand, a mix of excitement and guilt swirling inside me. Then there was him, Marcus, my boss. Tall and broad-shouldered, he had a way of commanding a room without saying a word. His deep voice sent shivers down my spine, and his laughter echoed in my mind long after he left. I couldn't deny the attraction I felt toward him. It was inappropriate, but I couldn't help myself. As I packed my bags for the trip to Chicago, my heart raced. I knew this trip would bring us closer, and the thought thrilled and terrified me. Would I be able to resist him? I shook my head, trying to clear my thoughts. I had to focus on work, but deep down, I knew I was lying to myself. Like and subscribe for more engaging tales like this one, I whispered to myself, as if it could somehow ground me in reality. I was about to dive into waters I might never return from. The hotel was luxurious, a stark contrast to my mundane life. As I stepped into the lobby, I spotted Marcus. He was leaning against the check-in desk, his presence magnetic. My heart raced as he turned and caught my gaze, a playful smile forming on his lips. Dinner was a casual affair with our colleagues, but I could feel the tension simmering beneath the surface. Marcus kept stealing glances at me, his eyes dark and inviting. It was intoxicating. After dinner, as everyone dispersed, I found myself alone with him in the lobby. "Care for a drink?" he asked, his voice low and enticing. I nodded, my throat suddenly dry. We settled into a quiet corner of the bar, and the conversation flowed easily, charged with an undercurrent of unspoken desire. My internal conflict battled within me. I was a married woman, but the chemistry between us was undeniable. As the night wore on, he leaned in closer, and without thinking, I leaned in too. Our lips met in a soft, tentative kiss that quickly ignited into something more passionate. I pulled away, breathless, my heart racing. "What are we doing?" I whispered, the weight of the moment crashing down on me. "Something we both want," he replied, his eyes dark with desire. Like and subscribe for more of this captivating journey, I thought, my mind racing with possibilities. The next few days were a blur of stolen moments and secret rendezvous. Each meeting felt like a dream, thrilling and dangerous. We met in the hotel rooms, the thrill of the risk making every kiss, every touch, electric. During the day, we acted like colleagues, but at night, we became something else entirely. I had never felt so alive, but I was also haunted by guilt. I thought of my husband, waiting for me at home, blissfully unaware of my betrayal. One evening, we found ourselves on the balcony of our hotel room, the city lights twinkling below us. Marcus wrapped his arms around me, and I felt safe and desired. But just as I was about to give in completely, a voice echoed in the hallway, a colleague coming back from a late-night outing. My heart dropped. "Quick, hide," Marcus whispered, pulling me into the shadows. We pressed against the wall, our breaths mingling in the darkness, hearts pounding in sync. The moment was electric, but it also reminded me of the precariousness of our situation. The next morning, as I prepared to leave, I faced a choice. I could continue this affair, living in the thrill of secrecy, or I could end it and return to my mundane life. My heart ached, torn between passion and responsibility. Returning home felt heavy. The weight of my secret pressed down on me like a lead blanket. My husband greeted me with a warm smile, unaware of the storm brewing inside me. I felt like a stranger in my own life, and the guilt gnawed at me. Over the next few weeks, I tried to push Marcus from my mind, but he lingered in every corner of my thoughts. I found myself daydreaming about our moments together, the way he made me feel alive. But every time I looked at my husband, I felt the crushing weight of my betrayal. One evening, my husband confronted me. "You haven't been yourself lately. Is everything okay?" His concern was genuine, and I felt a surge of guilt wash over me. I wanted to confess, to tell him about my affair, but fear held me back. Instead, I gave a half-hearted smile and assured him everything was fine. But deep down, I knew I was lying, and it was tearing me apart. The affair had become a double-edged sword, bringing me pleasure and pain in equal measure. As the weeks passed, I felt the weight of my choices bearing down on me. Marcus and I had grown closer, but the thrill was fading, replaced by a sense of impending doom. Then came the moment I had been dreading. Marcus called me into his office one afternoon, his expression serious. "We need to talk," he said, and my heart raced. "I can't keep doing this," he confessed. "I care about you, but we can't live in the shadows forever." His words echoed in my mind, and I felt my heart break. I had never expected to develop feelings for him, but I did. "You're right," I admitted, tears streaming down my face. "I can't live like this either." We stood there, the weight of our choices hanging in the air, both knowing that our time together was coming to an end. In that moment, I realized I had to make a choice. I could end the affair and return to my husband, or I could risk everything for a love that might not last. The stakes had never been higher, and the consequences of my actions loomed large. As I walked away from Marcus that day, I felt a sense of clarity wash over me. I had to face the truth of my desires, and the price of betrayal. Like and subscribe for more stories that tug at your heart, I thought, knowing that this chapter of my life was closing, but the lessons learned would echo long after.